welcome back to Conan Exiles. Today I have an exciting video for you today going over the future of Conan. So recently we had a Q&A video released by Funcom going over some of the burning questions people had answered by one of the lead devs himself, being Dennis, who I'm sure a lot of Conan fans are very familiar with. And I found some things in this video rather interesting because they kind of influence the future more than just the Age of War. So let's go over the really curious things in this video and we'll go over the really hot topics. So the first thing I want to go over is a subject they touched upon a few times, and that was the Isle of Siptah. A question asked in here was, why isn't the new updates for the Siptah map? It would be nice to have a raidable NPC base on Siptah. And that has been confirmed. There is no raidable base on Siptah, or will there be?
I do want to be able to deliver this content to the Siptah map. It just might not be in the form of a raid as big as the Stygian fortress on the Exiled lands.
This I found a bit of a shame, but if you have been following Conan, you will realise that a lot of their team is working on Dune right now. There isn't actually a lot of people focused on Conan Exiles as a whole when it comes to making these big updates. I imagine a lot of the Funcom team are actually working on Dune, which means the updates can't be as large and they're not going to be as big. I guess it makes sense for this kind of case not having an update on Siptah, but they haven't said no completely to this, and then there might be a raidable base in the future on Siptah, just at a smaller scale, which honestly I think actually might be a better idea, because seeing how it is on Exiled lands right now, the FPS drops you do get around the siege base and stuff like that is a lot. It does tank a lot, it's not perfect. There are multiple places on this siege base. There are like 30 foundations laid on top of each other and stuff like that, which I'm hoping they will fix. Just to name a few things that's going on with all of that. Probably will see something like this in chapter 4, because that seems to be where the stuff that didn't quite get done seems to be going. Now, I also wanted to go over a couple of points that were mentioned in this video which were given this kind of reply.
Stay tuned.
So mean! Love it though. There's a couple of points in this video that got that reply, and that was it. So this was a reply to, will there be more siege weapons added? So that is, yeah, I think so. When can we expect it though? What's going to happen? I always know siege weapons have been a thing that's always been requested and wanted throughout Conan Exiles years. There's just the question of what it's going to add and when, but I think the other stay tuned, comment kind of answers that a little bit. And that reply was to, will purge enemies eventually be able to use trebuchets against players based like in the trailer? And that also got the stay tuned treatment. So we could be getting that very soon. Will it come out in chapter 4? Who knows? Because, there's going to be a chapter 4 now in the Age of War. They did say in the stream now that there's going to be 4 chapters instead of 3 with every single age in the future. So this will be their tie-up kind of thing that they do. So this could be a possibility that we see that in that chapter, and as well as all the other stuff that we missed throughout the year that just didn't come out. Now, there was also some tavern questions in here quite throughout this video, and we'll go over them now, as well as some of the future plans they have for taverns in the future. So there was a question, where do you learn to run a tavern? And they answered that basically through knowledge points, and you have to get the barkeeper via a purge. They said that one of their plans in the future with this whole thing, when it comes to barkeepers, is to have more options in the ways of obtaining barkeepers, but for now, for chapter 3, the only way to get one will be through a purge. There's also a lot of talk about how thralls are going to work when it comes to the future of Conan, especially around crafter NPCs, which has been talked about a bunch. But basically their plan is to take these NPCs out of the station. They're not going to be an object anymore that you just put in an inventory. They really want to push the idea of making these actual people that move around in the world and act like normal people and can fight and all sorts, whatever that means for Conan. Who knows, it could be a good or a bad thing, But I think the fact that they're trying to make it more animated, more realistic, is always a good thing. I mean, it doesn't make much sense that you literally convert a live living NPC into a square and then you just shove them in whatever and suddenly they magically appear. Yeah, no. So hopefully they do, revise that, and we'll see what there goes with that one. I know they want them sitting around your base and moving around and doing stuff and making it feel more alive. They also mentioned here about clan exclusivity when it comes to taverns. Are they open to anyone, or are they just for the clan? In some aspects, they are just for the clan, but if you had your door open and you had some contractors sitting down and they have some gold and you want to pay them, apparently you can go ahead and hire them. You don't need to be like in the clan to do that. So you might want to think about your tavern setting with that in mind. They've also said a lot of the things with the bartenders are going to be moddable, so that's really exciting for mods, and I'll be really interested to see what they do with this. Now, mounts. What about those? Let's listen to what Den has to say on this question.
We know that people want this. It's a thing that came up in internal testing before it ever even went to the test server. So I can't give you any official information on it yet, but we do know people want it.
So maybe a fake for the future. I could see this being more useful when it came to a rhino mount or a camel, maybe. Probably the camel, because this is a brand new thing in the Age of War. They could really utilize that and make it useful. Maybe make it, haul around a cart on the back of it or something that allows you to have the treasure, or maybe it could sit on the hump on the sides or something. I don't know. A couple of slots. Maybe you could have like a couple wooden boards and a rope in between that you could use, and on either side you could put a big piece of treasure or something or snap it to it. That would be really cool, and I imagine if they could get that to work, they could open up the possibility of being able to snap other things to that. Or maybe even have chairs like that on your mounts and then you full sit on them or something. Imagine that. That would be really, really cool if that's a thing. Apart from that, they've been releasing a bunch of articles recently that have been going over the certain features when it comes about this kind of tavern. Interestingly enough, for this one, they have some more Yamatai pictures in the background for this one. They seem to be leaning more on Yamatai theme. Like just looking at this picture up here, you can see the old outfits from the DLC. We got a dragon paint there. I believe that's already in the game. You of course got the skin for the bar that's Yamatai, but what I was interested on here is the little bonsai tree. And that little tree is also on the table over here, so you might probably be seeing something like a few Yamatai Battle Pass sets, or not Battle Pass, sorry, Bazaar sets, I can imagine, since they seem to be taking a shining to this for the next update. Either way, a lot of the articles just go over the features we already know about, and I'll probably have a video coming out soon going over these features again so that you know all about it. Funny enough, I scrolled down the article. I should have just read the article first, shouldn't I, with this? It literally just came out. They have the full picture here, as you can see, and you can see they got a painting on the wall, so yeah, there's definitely going to be something in the bazaar about this. They even say it's going to be in the battle pass and the bazaar, so there you go. Looks like there's going to be some chair things, maybe. Got the bonsai trees, maybe some food. Maybe this whole fire pit is a thing as well. I don't recognize this. I recognize the pot kettle, but apart from that, I don't recognize it elsewise. And the lanterns look to be a new thing. I do wonder if they have some new outfits as well, unless this is a new outfit. But I recognize the bottom of these. This is definitely not new, these bottoms. They are something else. But either way, I'm looking forward to this, and hopefully it should be coming out soon, since they'll be tying off the XP event and all of that. Anyway, that has been all for the Conan news today. Thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.